we're recording. I gotta get a button to start this thing. That way it's not
other way so you don't have to keep walking over.
Oh, I'm not used to the one without wheels. Whatever. Alright.
Another episode of Gamble This. You all know me, Tom. You all know Chad. So, we're going to get the lady here to introduce herself. We actually have a lady on the show today.
My name's Tessa. Did my first Gambler this spring. It's pretty awesome.
For those of you who don't know, she ran Old Town Road, the Jeep that had the big horse tail on the back of it.
Yep, and a horse head on the front.
Oh, I didn't even see the horse head.
It was creepy. It was a mask filled with foam.
Oh.
It was a creepy horse head. You know, the ones that scare everybody, the masks?
Yeah.
Yeah, we filled it with foam and put it on the front.
Nice.
Just to be weird. Yeah, it was a good time.
How much did you pay for the Jeep when you got it?
I paid $500. I overpaid by the time we got it back. We went and looked at it at night. I don't suggest doing that. And we drove an hour and a half to get it. So, with a trailer, so there was no turning around. But, yeah, it was $500 right at the limit there.
Did you get it stuck at all when you were out there, or did it handle nice?
It handled pretty well up until we did that one hole that everybody got stuck in.
25A, I want to say.
Yeah. We made it through, but we blew both CV shafts out of it, so... someone almost got hit by a tire. It was pretty bad. We had to limp it out of the woods, stop a couple times, jack it up, push the wheels back in. Yeah. We only made it 100 miles, so we learned our lesson. We weren't going to do any of those crazy trails till like the end of the day, Sunday.
Yeah, don't... Well, you did better than the Mud Cricket.
Yeah.
And they didn't even hit the track.
And almost every forester that went.
We made it through, though. I mean, we blew both CV shafts out, and we still drove all the way through that hole. So.
That's not bad.
Yeah. We welded the diff. That's another thing I guess you really did not need to do.
It depends on what trails you want to hit.
Yeah.
Day 2, the Devil's Splash Park, I would highly recommend it. Because I went through there with one wheel peel last year.
Mm-hmm.
I launched a lot more mud than I wanted to.
Yeah, you probably rooster-tailed off one side of your vehicle.
Yep.
Really?
The whole passenger side was covered. The driver's side, there was a little bit, but welded diff is definitely a good thing.
Yeah. It was like I guess the Dana 35, everybody's telling me that was like overkill. I don't know. Probably all lying. That's usually what people say, you know.
You could have just gotten a walker for it.
Well, if it was a problem, it would have been the reason why you blew out all of your CVs and everything. Yeah. So, there was a couple other Cherokee guys there, and they all had CV shafts, like extra ones. Like one guy literally opened the back of his trunk and had like 10. And I was like, oh wow, we were not prepared. We learned a lot of lessons. Yo, I'm really gambling. I'm not going up with any spare parts.
Yeah. This guy, he came from like Maryland. He was pretty serious.
A lot of the Cherokee guys that show up are like pretty serious.
Yeah. I think you have to be because they're just not made for off-roading. I don't care what people say.
Some of the Jeeps are nice too. Like they're not wones that are like
the Wrangler that had the fucking Cummins in it.
Yeah, like they're I
want to build one of those.
No offense to anyone, but they're like you're gambling but you're coming in with a Jeep that's like you're clearly going to be better than everybody. Yeah. Like
the Cherokee is almost like a cheater class vehicle because you get the off-road ability of a Wrangler, yet you still have a full body.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not open to the elements.
I want to do a Wrangler
unless there's a hole in the floor. If there's holes in the floor, then you're exposed to carbon monoxide.
Kind of like Justin's Jeep.
Yeah.
Did you see those pictures in the Gambler?
I don't know. Was it a Wrangler?
No, it was a XJ, kind of like the one you ran. It was my coworker Justin. He was on
that red one.
Nope.
No, the black one. Yeah. Oh. Is it black or blue?
Real dark blue.
Oh yeah,
I
remember
all
that
the interior out.
Yeah.
Everything is gone. Dude, I rode in that Jeep so many times. But now that I see that the whole floor and everything is gone, I was like, not again.
Basically, every backseat of any Gambler I've ridden in, somehow I always end up above the floor, the hole that's in the floor, and then I always end up getting like half high off of the carbon monoxide that comes in. I mean, it was even the last podcast we did. Yep. Somehow I ended up sitting directly on the hole over the transmission of the Coupe 2.0. It like totally cooked me, and the fumes are coming through. And then with Nick and the 940 or whatever, we were like, oh, let's go to Walmart. And then I'm like, oh, let's pound the back of the car. Nick's like, oh, there's no tarp on the floor. You can deal with the hole. So I'm sitting there, and there's all just like super hot air coming through, blasting me in the face with the carbon monoxide. And then when we came back out, I was like, I'm riding back with Alec. I can't handle that again. I'm going to pass out this time.
Nick's car was really nice until it popped out of park and blew into a tree at Kevin's house.
Yeah, when he ruined the taillights. Or the tail light.
Yeah, that's still the background on my phone. I think it always will be.
That's pretty great.
I think he's going to be planning on bringing the 240, but he's going to do the wine tours this year.
He's going to take some
and
of
I
the
think
skid
he's going to
plates.
bring the mini bike with him too, as long as it lasts through the 100, which is 2 weekends away.
Yeah, I put in for it so I can actually go. Are you going to go to the 100?
I'm going to be in Atlanta for a bachelorette party, unfortunately.
Oh, that's no fun.
And not fun
My
at all.
bachelor party is going to be the fall run this year.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty great.
Probably the best way to spend a bachelor party.
And it's also that Sunday is also my 33rd birthday, so it's gonna be one fucking shit show.
You're not gonna remember that weekend at all.
You're damn right I won't.
There'll be a handful of pictures.
My buddy's doing all the driving in my pig, so that's my plan. Is I'm just gonna ride along and have some damn fun. And I think Tyler's still talking about possibly getting a band to play Saturday night too. I don't know.
That'd be awesome.
It all depends on what we do for fees this year. I mean, it was only like what, $20 for a whole teen register last year. $20 a person wouldn't be bad. It generated a lot of money for the track, and then we'd have a lot more money to throw around to do stuff there.
Yeah.
So I think that wouldn't be bad. But
even if we did like a band Friday night during the car show.
Yeah, like right in the middle of the racetrack or something.
That'd be awesome.
But then again, if we did that, it'd probably just end up being like one litter scene of all these empties. We'll see.
I don't know, they did a pretty good job keeping everything clean this year.
We'll see. It was a good time. In the night run, too, that's when Talon got stuck in the cricket. Because he decided to try to go around someone.
Those dunes were awesome.
Oh, yeah. That's where I
That was
broke my
pretty cool.
windshield and blew out a shock, and I'm still leaking random fluids out of the front of the truck. I can't figure out what it is. I messed up my steering stabilizer, too, because now from time to time, they going perfectly straight down the road, and then it'll just start wandering, so I
Oh
gotta
my
kinda
gosh.
bring it back in.
Nick, berries. You, come pull them out. Nick, 2 more feet. Berries. On the sand
You
dunes.
gotta have either all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive
Yeah.
out there.
2-wheel does not work on those dunes.
My
tried
friend
it.
drove through it on his Nissan Pathfinder. It's like his new daily, his beater. Bald tires, like, just goes out there, and we're literally crawling through it past everyone. Like, through, like, deep stuff. Like, the thing didn't get stuck. I was like, what is going on?
I was planning on running the Pilot stock with the half-bald tires I've got, but apparently between you and Alec, I might actually have a set of decent tires on the bitch, so I'm excited more than I was before. I might actually have the ability to get through this stuff instead of just like, yeah, pull me out!
Pull me out again.
And I think they're welding it today too, or at least they're looking at it. They're going to plan on what they got to do with it. But being that both mounts for the rear subframe ripped out of the unibody, I told them just to jack it back up and booger weld the living shit out of it. Even if they got to figure out how to weld the whole, like if they have to weld the whole fucking subframe to it, as long as it doesn't come off, that's all that matters.
Hell, you could ratchet strap it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I don't think regular
No,
ratchet,
just get like the like 2 or 3 inch wide
like
ones.
tractor, like the trailer ones, yeah.
You get a couple of them to hold the subframe up. That's how I held the struts in that Lumina.
Because I
It
was thinking
worked.
about that. If he can't do the weld, that's what was my next step was gonna be. But I mean, right now, the exhaust, the only thing that's holding my subframe up is the exhaust, and because it's pushing everything down, the exhaust is like that half the ground. When I put it on the Alex trailer today, it was just like, good, just scraping the muffler on the ground, and it like, I mean, it's squatting like really, really bad, that back end. But I mean, once we jack it back up, it'll
does
fix
it.
it.
Look like all the Foresters that were at the
Oh
event?
yeah, well it looked like Super Poo did on the way home. Like, I mean, just full on like dragging its ass on the ground basically. So I hope they can get it back up for me. If not, we're gonna do the ratchet strap idea. So that'll be
You're running that in 2 weeks?
no, I'm gonna run that for the 500. My Pilot, yeah.
Oh.
Honda Pilot. 257,000 miles on it. I paid $350 for it. It runs like a fucking top. It just,
It's rotted.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there weren't
That
even...
was like my Jeep. It was like, just, yeah,
Well,
scary.
when Alec was trying to strap it down on his trailer, he got underneath it and he was like, both your mount or your toe mounts are rusted off. So we ended up using the subframe that fell off to strap it down to the truck. So Hopefully he doesn't hit a bump hard enough and just rip the whole unibody off the damn truck.
Well, if he does, we'll figure out something.
Yeah, we'll just...
Worst case scenario, you pull the rear drive shaft.
More ratchet straps.
No, go to Runnings, get yourself like a trailer rear axle, weld that to the back of the car. Then you'll only have front wheel drive, but you'll have all 4 wheels.
Yeah. I could just try to do like a big tractor caster too. Steal what Leach did with the Yaris, just with a bigger tire idea. And spin it like a fucking top when I need to.
Yeah, until that hits a rock or anything and breaks it off.
Oh, by the way, Jacob, look. Best idea ever for the trailer jack wheel on the back of the Yaris. Genius. Also, like he said, most shares and comments ever on the page. Ever. And that also got shared throughout like any of the communities for the Gambler. It's on every single one of those pages. Every one of them. So, that was a
little bit of redneck engineering makes you famous on the internet.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Tool of the day we can talk about. Get that out of the way. I bought this bad boy years ago. It's gotten me out of some sticky situations. It's a, I don't remember what country it's from. The military uses it in some Kreblaka, Slovakia, or whatever the hell it's called. Multi-tool. It's just got a stupid little pin in it. You take it out, unscrew it. It's got a shovel, saw. I mean, this saw will cut metal. I know for a fact it will cut metal. Nice little axe, hammer end, and then a pick if you ever fall off a cliff or something and you gotta climb back up. Very, very handy to have a shovel, too. You never know when you're going to need it. The shovel also has a sharpened edge on it, so it will work as an axe.
Also looks like you could open a bottle with that.
Yeah, and you can open a bottle with it, too. I haven't tried that, but yes, I plan on trying that now. But this saw is quite handy. I mean, I guarantee you, if you had to, you could cut your fenders off with this son of a bitch. I guarantee it. And it's pretty handy.
We're going to ask to borrow that next year then.
Yeah.
And it's got a compass on it, so if we ever get lost on our GPS stops, we'll know which way's north.
Or just make sure you don't have any sharp attachments on the end when you use the compass.
Yeah. Or, I mean, you could. We're gamblers. We like to live life dangerously, so we'll see what happens. This thing is very handy. It was only like $30 online, I think it was.
Oh, it's not bad.
Yeah, for something with the versatility it has. And, I mean, it's strong. Like, I've swung this axe as hard as I possibly can to cut wood, and it handles it. So, everyone should have one of these in their car. And it comes with this nifty little carry pouch, too. So everything fits right in here. It fits under your seat in your glove box.
Who makes it?
I don't even know. It was just some army surplus thing from, like, Slovakia or whatever. I don't know. Some military somewhere used it, and I was like, oh, cool, I'm going to try it. And it was well worth the buy. Well worth the buy. Yeah. So, back to you.
Yeah.
What was your favorite part of the Gambler?
I think it had to be just being at camp with everyone. That was pretty fun. Especially, like, you had all the sand dunes, everybody was driving up and just doing stupid stuff on. It was a good time. Camping. And everybody's so nice. Like, I've never rolled into, I mean, I come from, like, the truck show scene where everybody's like, if you're not in, then everybody's mean to you. So.
It's a car scene, yeah.
Yeah, it's a car scene.
I am the guy that's mean to everybody.
Yeah,
so.
I'm pretty, no, I try and be nice to everybody, but, you know, I've never rolled into some place and you felt like home. So that was pretty cool. And, you know, everybody was out there helping each other. I mean, we broke down and then we came back and there was these 2 guys from, I think, like, Maryland or Virginia. The Ron Burgundy, the Mercedes.
Yeah.
Yes.
North Carolina.
North Carolina? Was it that far?
Yeah, because I was one of the ones that talked to him on Instagram and helped him get up here and whatnot.
Were they the ones that, or I think the guy from Ohio got the longest traveled.
I want to say he got it by a few miles.
Yeah, but they were the ones that actually were the runner-up for it, I think.
So they were broken down. We were literally driving by with our big trailer, and we're like, oh my god, we can't leave Ron Burgundy there. And they're like, thank God you guys came. I'm like, what would have happened to you? Like, you're out in the middle of the Adirondack Mountains. So it was just cool. Like, everybody had your back, and then a couple of the other Jeep guys that were with us came rolling up on us just to check on them and make sure that they had a ride at least back to camp. So we were able to trailer them back, and it was a good time. So I really like that.
I think anyone that sat here on the show has always said that, like, for me, what I said was, like, I've never been around my people in such a quantity before, and that's basically what you just said. It's like, like when I have friends that talk about it and like they're like, oh, what's it like? I'm like, it's basically like a brotherhood. Like,
It is.
once you're a gambler, you're a gambler. You're in. There is no like phase where you get treated like an outcast. Everyone just accepts you right away. You could show up in whatever the hell you want, and everyone's like, yeah,
Like they get it. It's
Yeah.
cool. You don't get that everywhere else, so that was fun. And then just seeing all the different cars, and then there's people in buses. Like there was
Yeah.
10 of them in this bus, and I'm like, that's awesome, just cruising around. And you'd run into the same people, so it was a lot of fun. I definitely will shop around and get a better car next time. That's like my big thing.
Are you planning on going to the fall run this year?
I can't do the fall one, but I can do the spring one next year.
We might be doing a Frozen Nuts too, depending on if we can find some locations. It might just be at Alex's compound, but that'll probably be February time probably.
Yeah, because if we do one based up this far, we could get a couple of checkpoints to bring it back down to as if we had started at Kevin's, and then we'd have access to all those checkpoints from all the fall runs down there.
Isn't Kevin moving, or
yes.
Did he move already?
I think he already moved, but
sad.
I think everybody still that went down there has all the checkpoints still, so should be a good time.
Now, as a female gambler, which we don't have very many of, how was that? I mean, it's kind of hard to ask you if it's different because you've never been a guy to know the difference. But did you feel any different way? Or was there too much? I don't think filthy madness going on.
No, it was fine. I mean, I work now in a male-dominated industry. Mostly everything I do hobby-wise is male-dominated. Like, I don't care. I'm comfortable with men. Like, I don't mind it. I mean, everybody, I think, thought that the Jeep was actually my, boyfriend at the times. Which I was like, no, it's mine. He's just driving it right now because it was crab walking down the road.
She also has a serious diesel. It's fucking huge. And it is, I mean, anything, all the bells and whistles, it's all painted. It's a nice looking diesel.
Yeah, it's pretty built.
Talk about that one.
Yeah, the 6.4.
Yeah.
Well, I just finished. It sat for about a year and a half. I do shows with it. It's sponsored, so Mishimoto, Fast Diesels, the Diesel Shop out in Avon. They're one of my big guys. Mike Seeley down there in Geneva does a ton of work. He stores it for me all winter. Kicker Audio hooked me up with a marine kicker system that's in it. It's got some big compounds on it. Taterbilt did them for me. So it rips. It's probably around 700 horse, so...
It's just unmistakable. There's no other ridiculous diesel that, I mean, you can, especially with it being, it's a purple, right?
Yeah, purple and white, yeah.
White and purple.
You can't miss us.
Yeah, you won't miss it. It's a nice truck, though. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. That's my baby. I've been working on it for
How long did it take you to get that build?
5 years I've owned it, so I didn't really touch it for the first year I owned it. I went to, like, a truck show, and I was like, this is what I want to do. And, like, not so much SEMA stuff. Like, I like the performance side, and... I want it to be clean. That's about it. But, I mean, I just pick away at it.
So it's not a tow pig. It's a show pig.
Oh, it definitely... I'm pretty sure I'd blow it up if I tried towing anything. So that's why I gotta buy another diesel.
To tow the diesel with another diesel.
Yeah, to tow another... Yeah. It's kind of like one of those things that you can drive it around locally. I don't know if it would make it. Like, I used to drive it all over the place, but now I'm like, It's seriously built, so... It's not exactly reliable.
Are you what area are you from around here in New York?
Fairport.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So shit, you're practically Tommy's neighbor.
Yeah, I'm from Fairport, born and raised too.
Oh, okay.
So I live over by Lollipop Farm. I don't live.
Oh, you don't live that far then. So that's why I go to the cabin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm there pretty much every Wednesday. As long as it's not like really crappy out.
It's like an hour drive for me to get up there.
It's far.
Cabin, by the way, is the local car show. If it's a nice night out, you'll get like 300 cars rolling in. A lot of WRX and the kids up there,
fan.
Yeah, they're Subaru kids that are like in high school and think they're cool. But other than that, there's always a lot of
decent turnout the night that I went. There was like 3 Lambos. That's pretty good.
Yeah, but for me, like when they roll in, I'm like, oh, look at the guys in their stock cars pulling in. BFD. Like, I can look at that car on the fucking internet. That, like, when Nick came that one day, I was like, Nick, park down there. He's like, well, I was like, the Lamborghini is down there.
Oh, I would have parked down there.
Nick parked kitty corner to the Lamborghini, and then I'm taking a bunch of pictures. Everyone that was at the Lamborghini turned around, saw Nick's car, left the Lamborghini and came over to look at Nick's car.
I wish they were like built Lambos.
That's
like
what the car
SEMA,
showed up.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, like if it showed up with like a twin turbo kit on the back of it or some shit, that's where I'd walk over and I'd be looking at it. But the only for
we
me,
don't really have a scene.
The
like
only
that
high end stock cars I drove over is Porsche. I love I'm a Porsche guy. I love them so much. But like the guy with the McLarens there all the time, and it's just like.
Last time I went, it was right after Spring 18 Gambler, because Nick and I brought both of our Gamblers. He was leaking gas the whole way there and back. But, like, we're set up, and then across the road from us is, like, Slam Civics, the guy with the, what was it, the Nosler M600?
Yeah. The blue and green, or the blue and orange one?
Nope. There's another one up there. He just recently had it wrapped.
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember that one.
He was up there. There's a bunch of high-end cars. But almost directly across from me was a F-150 on 39s, fucking suicide Lambo doors and all that shit. And it just like the dude was just wiping the thing down every 5 minutes.
Yeah, like
meanwhile, you're
gonna decal it so much that you're gonna buff it down the middle.
I saw somebody with one of those Lambo doors at a truck show. Yeah, I'm on his like F-250, and the wind caught it and like bent it. Oh, it was the funniest thing. I'm like, that was smart.
I could see them being useful off-roading. Like, if you get stuck against a tree or something, you only got to open it a hair and then go up with it and you can bail out.
Yeah.
Whereas...
they're just, like, not useful, though.
Yeah.
Nope. I'm trying to find that picture. I know I still have it somewhere on here. Yeah, it was... I actually told them to while they were doing it. I know we've probably already told this story before on here, but they're... I was actually the one that noticed. I was like... Because he pulled up and then he popped his Lambo doors. And for me, from where I was standing, I was like, dude, he's right in the middle of the frame between the two of your cars. So I had him jump on the back of his truck, and Nick jump on the back of his. And we got the picture of them sitting on their Gamblers all like, with this pavement princess with his Lambo doors on behind him.
I wish I could have made it to that cruise night you guys all went to with Old Town Road. It would have been mint. That thing was awful, though. It needed, like, 2 shocks. It had the worst body roll. I was literally getting, like, seasick driving it the whole time.
My truck's got some pretty bad body roll now that I broke a shock off. Like, the entire bottom
When
of it.
did you break the shock?
Mine
the
must
dunes.
have been broken.
Oh.
No.
Like, I blew the entire bottom out of it, and then...
It's, like, bad when it starts really rocking, and you're like, oh, my God.
Oh, baby Jesus.
It was not fun.
I was trailering the truck back, and trailer brakes kept popping out on me, so I was just like, whatever. Pulled into a tech stop on 81. Get out and look at the trailer. It is just soaked in fucking the oil from inside the shock. Because every bump was just spraying down on the trailer. And I was like, that's going to be fun to explain. I got it back here, unloaded it. It poured and washed the trailer off. And I was like, well, I don't have to explain that one now, so that works.
Merp, someone's vibrating.
Wasn't me.
What was I going to say? What was your... I mean, obviously you said, like, the night, the camping and whatnot, but what was, like, your favorite actual day? Did you stay all 3 days for the Gambler this year?
We came up Friday. We left Sunday because the Jeep broke, like, first thing.
Oh, so you didn't
run?
Yeah,
we did not make
Sunday?
it very far. We made it, like, 100 miles, and then the rear end of the Jeep blew out.
Still better than some vehicles.
Yeah. I mean, we spent half the day driving around just going back to get it, because we did drive all the way out.
Mm.
It was fun, though. I mean...
Like, what was your...
I think the best thing... So, I started off driving, and I'm going down the road, and I feel the back end of the Jeep's just floating. And I'm like, man, I'm crab walking. Yeah. And I'm like, this is so weird. And I, like, couldn't correct it, because I'm like, I'm used to, like, weird steering. I got a Ford. You know, it doesn't always work.
Death wobble.
Yeah. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, this is so weird. And we get there, and we were following Tyler, who had the Meow Mix Trailblazer, you know, and because he's, like, my best friend, he's the one who got us all into it. And we're following him, and they're like, yeah, your front end's over here, and your back end's way over here. We get out, the freaking U-bolts on the axle were completely sheared off. The axle was just floating. We're all like, I'm so surprised we didn't die. I was freaking out. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, I had a girl moment. I was like, oh my God, we all could have died. Like... But we ratchet strapped it, like, went to a Napa, sat on the side of the road for, like, an hour and a half, building U-bolts out of, like, rebar. So, got it back going, and then we blew the back end apart on the second trail we went on. So, it was great.
For me, I enjoyed the Friday night. I love that night Gambler. I got some really cool videos, too, I was riding with Isaiah and we were bobbing around, going really slow on top of the sand dunes, and then I was filming, watching everyone just mob around down in the trails with all the fog lights and everything. The nighttime was like my favorite part of it. Just watching everyone roll around and actually use all the lights.
Yeah.
That 18 bus. That thing's lit up like a Christmas tree.
It was just flying around.
It turns the darkest of dark into the dayest of day. Like, it's just, I couldn't believe how bright that thing was.
We were doing rides, but we got there I think too late because they stopped doing it.
Yeah.
Or something.
I was thinking too with that dirt road that runs around through there, we might actually be able to run a hoopty cross possibly.
That'd be fun.
Around down there. There's enough of the trail and run around where I think we could easily try to get one going. So I got to run that by Tyler. But I thought of that last night, just trying to it was going through my head, just the sand dunes and all that. And I was like, wait a minute, there's totally a full circuit track down there that we could easily run.
So the other thing, everybody could bring their Gambler 100 rides up to base camp and just cruise around on those. Because hot laps around base camp is fun, but then you realize, okay, this thing's terrible on gas. I'm just gonna take the lawnmower or the mini bike and just cruise around.
Yeah.
And enough people do it. They were drag racing them in front of where we were set up.
Yep.
The mini bikes just kept racing.
Yeah, they were ripping by us, and then Scott actually did a ghetto tug of war, I think, right in front of the tent. I was so hammered, I slept right through it. I didn't even know they were doing it.
I feel like a lot of people just kind of forget certain parts of the night because they were drinking. I'll drink a bit, but I know Saturday morning's really rough when you drink a lot. Because my first time there, I was yeah, let's party Friday night. And then Tyler got a little ambitious with all the trails, and driver's meeting it was 6:45 the following morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be early.
Whoa.
I couldn't imagine trying to do
that.
fixing mine on the side of the road drunk, hungover. Not drunk, but hungover.
Yeah, that's
that would have been brutal. You really had to use creativity.
I knew the Friday night that I was Friday night I'm gonna take it easy. We were all in bed probably by 11 o'clock that night. I think we all got a good night's sleep. And
Saturday night.
Yeah,
wild.
Because I was there's no way I'm gonna ride around hungover in a car for 12 hours and not throw up all over myself. So I kept it easy. Saturday night was a different story. I think it was Nick Vargnoli. He was walking around with a shotgun, and he's walking who wants a shot? I was stay there. I ran far away and I was go for it. Just covered my eyes, just moves all over my face. It was a good time. Saturday night, Steph. Friday night is a little more laid back. I'd say everyone's just kind of getting in, getting settled.
Yeah.
It's a lot quieter. Saturday night, engines off at midnight. It was 3:30 in the morning. It doesn't. There's no quiet time.
They can say there's a quiet time, but there really isn't.
Yeah, it was. There were people mobbing around in those dunes all damn night.
I guess fall of 2018, they had a tug of war at 2 a.m. and it was just obnoxiously loud.
Yeah, we actually rolled up on the tug of war, and Isaiah had all of his fog lights on. Alec had his light bar on. And we pull up on the opposite side of the hill, because where they were doing the tug of war was on the asphalt, and then there's that little gully. Yep. We were up on the hill above the gully, and after the one tug of war, we just hear Tyler "Hey guys, can you turn your lights off? We're trying to film over here." Just yelling at us. We're oh, sorry. Oh.
If I didn't lose the clutch in the Toyota, I probably would have done the tug of war. Because 4 low in that thing will pull a house off the foundation.
But the tug of war too is it's a vehicle eater. That's a lot of stress to be running on gamblers.
My Jeep.
That's a true gamble. That's a true gamble. And then you had that one kid that did it in his street truck and basically blew apart the front end of his truck.
Yeah.
The next morning it was sitting up on jack stands with no tires on the front of it. And they had to run to the junkyard to go grab parts for it.
That's like that S10 that had the flotation tires on it.
Oh my god, those tires were
huge
time I saw
on
that thing.
It was sitting like this in their camp, and I was
derp.
Oh,
yeah. That thing, they literally built it there because they were right across from us.
Oh, nice.
They pulled in and were okay, stock S10, and then they're just grinding out the fenders. So I'm okay.
I wish I got to see more, and I don't think they didn't really do much with it either. I don't think.
I
They didn't
don't
run
think
with
it
them?
would have been good to take on the roads because every turn, no matter how wide it would have been like a 3-point turn.
Yeah. I wanted to see more of the limo. I wanted to see the limo in
The limo
action
kept
and really
breaking.
do it. But yeah, it kept breaking. I think they did a tug of war with it possibly.
They did. They did a couple tug of wars.
Yeah, but I wish I could have seen that thing out on the trails
That would've been
and
fun.
how it handled.
I'll say after we left 29A, when someone called the cops on us, we were cruising back by the.
Why did they call the cops on you?
This lady came. We get up there, and
I didn't even see like another soul.
As soon as we get up there,
2 or 3 cars up there when we got up there.
Yeah, and they hadn't gone through it yet.
Here's your White Claw. Oh, you're so.
Well, it's not really White Claw, but
Ew.
she's always a Truly.
Smirnoff Spiked Seltzer.
Love Truly.
See, everyone's always like, "Dur the White Claw, dur the White Claw," and then it's
everybody
like,
drinks it.
yeah, and everyone
Yep.
drinks it. And then the other thing is too, when you're sitting there drinking a 4% beer and someone's drinking a 5% water, that's gonna go through you just like water. The 5%, it's a hydrator. It gets you drunk.
Did
And-
you
I don't
just
think
put
it's
Betty White
a
in glass?
Yes,
pour
he
a
did.
beer. It's
Yeah.
also my mustache cup.
Okay.
That's how badass I am. I also, every time I set it down, the mustache always faces the camera.
But yeah, we got up there. There's 2 or 3 cars, and this lady's just walking around taking pictures of all our cars. She's up there with like a Polaris Ranger.
We hadn't even run through the mud yet. Hadn't even gone through the mud yet. She's like
Nope.
acting all nice.
Nobody
Oh,
had-
look at these cars! I want to take some pictures.
What,
Boop,
to
boop,
like
boop.
bring to the police
Yeah.
to do nothing?
Nobody
It
had
was a
gone
public
through
road,
the trail. It was a public road, and she was like, at first she was all nice, and everyone's all like, yeah, you can take pictures. And then she just flipped her bitch switch.
Yeah, and she's like, "You guys ruined this. I can't get my side by side through here,
Yeah.
bro.
How
Bitch,
can
you're
you
not
get
getting
your
through
side
there.
by side
You're
through
not
there?
getting through there anyway."
Yeah, I was gonna say It took quite a bit to get some of the cars through there.
The samurai even was like,
Well, yeah, the samurai was bouncing along, but it didn't lose momentum.
But like, I mean, that thing was also on what, like?
35s,
Yeah.
really steep gearing. It'll go through it, but the Bronco fought a bit to get through it, and then Eric tried to go through it with the fucking Escort.
And
He just texted
He
me.
made
It's
it
running
halfway.
again.
He made it halfway. So for the stock height on the Escort, which is some better tires, it did a damn good job. But someone ended up driving down. Someone left early and drove down, and like I think only Alec's phone got reception. So Alec gets a message that when they were driving down, there was a sheriff coming up the hill. So the minute he got the text, he was just like, "Cops are coming!" You just see like 30 dudes running to their gamblers and hauling ass down the hill and getting the hell out of there. And Eric, who was stuck in
they
there,
couldn't even write you a ticket though, so like I would have just
It's
said
a public road.
Yeah.
They couldn't the worst they could have been was like, hey, don't tear this road up. It is still technically a public road.
yeah.
But at the same time,
But at the same time, it's not maintained.
yeah,
Whatever.
it's a non-maintained road.
But
So they could have been like, well, thanks for going through it and trying to smooth it out.
Yeah. I mean, we're gamblers too. It's just it's
He
also
probably
like
wouldn't have gone out. They probably would just turned around and been like, "Hey, I don't care."
most of us too were those kids that like broke bottles and did crazy shit. So if we hear cops, it's just instinct to fucking run,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So like we're all peeling off down the hill. Eric, who's stuck in there, was our navigator. So when we get to the bottom, we're like, "Oh, Chad, navigate us."
Luckily, Ryan was riding with me, so
Yeah.
he was able to get the coordinates and get them right and get us back to base camp.
Yeah, and
We get back there, and Eric's like, yeah, my car only goes like 2 miles at a time, and then it dies, and I gotta fight with it, and then it goes another couple miles.
Oh no.
So we hooked up the Silverado and trailer and went out to the gas station that we stopped at lunchtime, met him there, and then had the trailer and back, and he's been fighting with it since then and just got it running. So that might be making a comeback. Hopefully on some 31.
still have to. I mean, I have some barn sheet metal. Alec has a bed liner that's all mangled up that I might try to cut up too. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do for a skid plate. I'm probably just gonna use the barn siding that I have.
Cover your oil filter and you'll be fine.
But yeah, I mean,
I
I've
say
got
that I damn near put my transfer case through my floor last year.
in the dunes.
Nope, it was in the Devil's Splash Park. We didn't
Oof.
know we could go in the dunes last year, so nobody did. But there was 3 trails through it at the time. I guess there's like 6 or 7 now. The straight one went through. It was a pit. One of the guys that does Stuck in the Muck was like, if you have anything smaller than 39s, you're not going to get through it. Good to know.
Challenge
They were like-
accepted.
Yeah, Jeepalope died in that hole. Eric's Bronco died in that hole, and I think a couple others did. There was a little trail up off to the right where that Subaru ate the tree, where you went down, kind of just went through a small
The
part of the
Outback.
stream. And then the other side was kind of somewhere in between. I was like, I'll go for the other side, because someone said go to the far left, and I went to the far right. went through there. First little dip down into the mud, I was like, this is awesome. And then the next one, I hear a boulder hit my fucking transfer case.
Oof.
There's still a big dent under there. And I was like, okay, that's not fun. I made it through, and then on the same rock, that's where CJ hung up in the Eagle. So I was like, well, let's not do that.
Is that where you ripped his bumper off?
Yes. I still feel bad about that. He's like, don't worry, I got a new one. I still feel bad. Because he hung up on it, and it had a bit of an angle to it, so when he hung up, trying to pull it forward was useless. Yeah, I winched to a tree, and then to him.
Oh no.
And as I was pulling, I hear something rip, and I was like, uh-oh. Walked out around the brush that I couldn't see through. I looked, and his front bumper's just sticking out like that, and I was like, oh, man. He's like, it was just tacked on. You're fine.
I mean, it's with these gamblers too. It's
I mean, you shouldn't really be worried about aesthetics.
Yeah, but I mean, you feeling bad is completely normal because it's like,
You're like, oh man,
every one of our gamblers are so custom in the way we build. We put so much care in them. Everyone's gambler is a piece of them. Yeah. So like, you still kind of want to respect each other's vehicles. If you hurt someone else's car, you should feel bad about it because it's like you're. But I mean, again, they are gamblers too. So
his Eagle was like his daily at the time.
Yeah, it's a nice. I mean, that thing's he's still running it too, isn't he?
Yeah.
I think he ran it at the last one.
Nope. He day before he buys a Jeep XJ.
Oh, the red one.
Yep.
Yeah.
One of the red ones that was at our setup. But he's been running the Eagle in a lot of them, but it is getting hard to find parts for an AMC. So I think he's kind of dialing that back and trying to find alternatives to send.
I'm trying to remember who. The first podcast I sat on, he was sitting here with me, and he was running the Jeep too.
Wands?
Huh?
Was it Wands?
No. Taller kid with black hair. They actually camped next to us, and they left Saturday night when we got back. But his dad was right. His dad rode a dirt bike the whole run. The whole damn run this time he was on a dirt bike. That to me was like...
the white dirt bike?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Jacobo.
Yeah.
That's not his dad. And that's Marshall. That was sitting next to you.
Oh, that wasn't his dad that looked like his dad?
No.
No offense.
I'm pretty sure they went to college together.
But either way, he ran
Yeah.
To run the dirt bike through the Gambler 500 and actually...
Was it an Enduro?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was like an on-off bike.
That guy's got some balls. That was
I guess it kept, like, every time they hit mud and shit, it would flood out and die on him.
Oh, that stinks.
And
I would just, go around.
I want to say he popped a shock on the back, too, but... Well, I mean, that's the first dirt bike I've seen run in a Gambler, so...
The whole time. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That'd be exhausting.
Yeah.
500 miles? I don't know. Even more than that. It's more than 500 because you're driving on the road.
Yeah, but a lot of it...
they put it in the truck to bring it up there and then gambled it.
But still, that's a lot.
They were actually like one of the first ones to leave base camp too. I think that day on Saturday. As soon as we got back, they pulled out.
Yeah, we got back from the drivers' meeting and they all peeled out of there, and we were just like, oh, okay. So I guess we're not running with them.
Yeah, I thought we were gonna ride with them.
Yeah, I thought we were gonna.
We never had a navigator. We just followed Tyler, who had a navigator. We just followed the cat.
I was trying to play my GPS today. I can't even put coordinates into my GPS.
You should be able to.
I don't know, or I just can't figure it out. I was fucking around with it for like an hour, and I can't figure out how to put actual coordinates in my... I can put, intersections of, 2 street crossings, but I can't put coordinates in as far as I can tell.
I'm going to have to figure out how to enter coordinates to get to the 100. Captain sent me the coordinates, but I'm fucking terrible
well,
at putting them in.
Isn't it at his house? We
could just put his address in.
No, 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weekends.
2 weekends?
Yeah. But
wait.
I have the coordinates and everything, but...
I made us a badass flag,
when
too.
Is it?
23rd, 24th.
Oh, I could do that one, probably.
Okay.
I thought it was supposed to be the 16th and 17th.
No.
You got a lawnmower or a dirt bike?
I could go buy a dirt bike.
Under 200cc.
Or a 4-wheeler.
My lawnmower's like 600.
Is that why Tyler just bought a 4-wheeler?
Might be.
He bought this really junky one.
Is it like a little kid's 4-wheeler?
It's like... I don't even know. It's like a Banshee, man.
Yeah,
it's scary, but he said something about the house, him needing it for his new house, but I'll go buy one. I've wanted a little 50 ever since mine was stolen.
The 50s are the greatest thing ever.
I had a 140 Piranha. This thing was mint. Beautiful. Redid it all, and then some kid in the city stole it. Found it for sale 3 times. Every time I'd pretend I was interested and tell him calling the cops. But this last time, it made it all the way out to Leroy, and it was blown up. They completely locked up the motor. Sad.
That sucks.
Lesson is, lock up your motorcycles.
Lesson is don't bring it to the city and let it sit there for a couple months.
Well, yeah, or don't bring your bikes to the city.
Yeah.
I was up in Avenue D like a month ago.
Oh,
Why?
you were in the hood.
Oh, yeah.
No, this isn't in the hood. This isn't like a nice area where it got stolen.
Well, where I was,
What the hell
it was
are you
pretty
doing
hood.
in the hood?
Because I had to fix the pool for the
okay.
Avenue D pool for the rec center, and as we're driving in, the next street over is taped off by the cops. There's a fucking body laying in the street.
Yep.
And then and this was the weekend, the Friday of 4th of July weekend. So I'm
Everyone's
sitting there.
rowdy.
Yeah, everyone's rowdy. There's dirt bikes and quads ripping up and down the street at like
they just
100
ride them all
miles
the
an
time.
hour.
They steal everyone else's stuff.
Yeah, and then
Probably saw my piranha there.
the funny thing was though, the city employee, the guy who works for like the city of Rochester and does all this, like there's fireworks going off everywhere, and he's like getting all spooked and jumpy and all that. And then it's like, and then he looks at me and my boss, and he's like, "Man, where are you guys from?" And I'm like, "Fairport." My boss is like, "Pittsford," and he was like, "You guys should be jumping like crazy." But like, yeah, but like we're country boys. We know what guns sound like. We play with them all the damn time. Like,
Yeah.
it's yeah, that's the city is just nothing but two strokes and like little people
Just
just
junky,
yeah,
yeah.
they're ripping up and down the streets like crazy, doing their little
I
their
couldn't do that.
I have to
is
like
the
drive through
side shows
there
as
for
the
work.
media calls it,
Yeah.
the side shows. But
They
it
do.
was
They're all stolen.
yeah.
I will not go near the city.
I have to for work, so I'll take the diesel down there, and it's hilarious. So they'll like try and like be on their pit bikes and stuff. I just smoke them out.
Well, I was talking to
Get
Leach.
out of here.
I was talking to Leach or Matt, and we actually were talking about trying to do an urban takeover where we mob Syracuse, Rochester, and Buffalo all in one day, and we just get like not even like do checkpoints, just try to do like a convoy of like as many gamblers as we can, and we'll all just follow each other and just make a fucking ruckus in the city and just make a huge scene. And then like there's also like Rochester's got the abandoned subway. There's also some like really cool stuff that we could stop at, get some cool photos.
You go over
and
to
whatnot.
like Three Heads over there, and then that other spot by Black Button. There's a ton of cool artwork on buildings.
Yeah.
And like, I don't think anybody's gonna steal your gambler.
No.
They ain't gonna get much further than 100 yards
Yeah.
before it breaks.
Yeah.
I know down in Ithaca, there's a whole building that they flew in graffiti artists to do. Nick said he has a bunch of pictures from down there. We went by it coming back from Frozen Nuts, and it looks pretty awesome. Like
that's cool.
it'd be good for a takeover, but at the same time, the city of Ithaca is, no offense, a hippie city.
Oh yeah.
I went down there
It's just
once.
nothing
We
but
just need
head
to go with
jobs.
a bunch of Subarus, and we'll be fine.
Yeah, it's just
yeah.
nothing but head jobs.
We'll just take all the head gaskets out, put them back together, and send them.
Yeah.
I was in Syracuse last weekend on Saturday night for my fiance's little sister. My fiance's little sister's like just finished med school. She's starting her rotations. They just got down to New Jersey yesterday, so they could move her in. But I messaged Matt when I got there because we went to this place called Possibilities, which is just like some hipster pasta. Like they sell this thing that's called pizza and it's got fruit and pomegranate sauce on it.
Ugh.
What the fuck? That's not pizza. So
It
anyway,
actually sounds kind of good.
I
bet you,
message him and I'm
a
like
big
I'm sending
pastry?
him pictures of like
Oh, yeah.
the beer and whatnot that I got, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm actually out in Syracuse right now." I was like, "Oh, you gotta come through the city and rev the shit out of your car so we can get a good video." And like he comes down, I actually meet him outside as he's driving by, and he's just bang 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 on the coupe. You can hear it like echoing off the buildings, and this is like a nice part of Syracuse, which there isn't many of those, and like.
Syracuse is rough.
Like there's all the people that were like sitting there eating dinner. We're all like, oh, look at that, like looking at his car. And then I guess when he parked, he was trying to get to Starbucks. When he parked, some kid was walking by and was like, "Sweet car, man."
What I like about driving my truck through Canandaigua, since I cut the muffler off.
Show up all those hillbilly kids on at the pier.
Well, yeah, that.
Oh, the pier's hilarious. I haven't gone, and like I went the other day. I was like,
in
what
the
happened?
last 2 months, I have not seen one single inbred fool down there.
No,
it's just tourists.
crazy.
But it's funny because
Yeah, it's becoming
going by,
quite the
like,
shooby city.
Nolan's, New York Kitchen, all the fancy bars that they
Yeah.
started popping up along Lakefront.
No, you gotta go at like 10 o'clock at night, because that's what I did. And then all the like rednecks were down there.
All the rich people at the bars just kind of enjoying the view of the lake, and then this rusty ass '89 Toyota with basically open headers goes by, just blah, 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 and you're just like, what the hell? My day has
Stop
been
it.
ruined.
That's actually where I met. When I went to meet Isaiah for the first time, him and Justin. That was actually at the pier, and so my fiance is like, she was like, "Where's this car? Where's this car?" You can see his exhaust pipe sticking up above all the cars. I was like, "It's right there! It's right there!" So I roll, and he's like parked all these fancy cars because it's the middle of the day, beginning of tourist season, and there's just the Super Poo sitting there with its fucking big ass tires on it. His goalie net roof rack with all his like $30 fog lights that he bought. And then he's like driving. He's like, "Oh, listen!" And he's turns the Super on and brum 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 brum, and here ting 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 from the flap, like echoing down the pier. That's actually how I heard him coming to my house too when he was picking me up the day of the run. Like I couldn't hear the car coming. I could just hear the ting 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 coming down the street.
There was one point we were slowing down for the first truck or the truck stop where I had to fix the brakes for the first time. And as we're slowing down, I hear ting, ting, ting. And I was like, please tell me I didn't just fucking blow metal to metal on the rear brakes. And I look and Isaiah's flap is just doing this. And I was like, oh, okay.
That's what that is.
Like every time I heard it, I was like, oh, what did I break this time?
Oh, is that when we were? Is that when we were heading to the Gambler? Because
Yes.
when I was sitting, you said that one time. You stopped and you like turned the radio off, and you were like,
you're like, what is that?
looking
noise?
around,
I'm always
and then
paranoid.
you're like, oh, it's Isaiah.
I think going up there was probably the best trip I've had up there. I mean, the first time I went up, I drove the Toyota instead of trailering it. I met up with Kevin and Sean Ald and all of them at the Iron Skillet. And instead of taking the highway, because none of us could do highway speeds, we went up 414 and across 104.
Yeah.
Holy
We
fucking
saw, like, Nick
back
and them.
roads.
Yeah, I bet you that had to be rough. We saw Nick and them because we, like, flew past him in the trailer. And he's like, get on the CB. I'm like, oh, I can't. But they were just, like, going along. And they were like, Old Town Road. Can't do that. We would have made it 10 miles.
We're up at that rest stop, and we're just coming out after we all take our piss. And then Chad just goes, "Oh, there goes Captain!" And we all just booked to our vehicles, and we ended up catching up to him, and we convoyed for like 50 miles with him in the bus, and then the bus started to like slow down.
I saw Jay go by in the bus, and I was like, I wonder, and then I see Captain's fucking haggard Liberty behind him, and I was like, yep, it's Captain.
That's Captain.
I texted him, I was like,
I was
slow
so
down
jealous
so we
of
can
his
catch up.
Slow down so we can catch up.
That thing is so bad.
Is it bad?
I have seen it
I've
more
been trying
times.
to buy because I want to do a Barbie Liberty.
Oh,
That was my goal.
That'd be awesome.
But you see, nobody was like, all the guys were like, I'm not riding around in a pink
Well, if you
Barbie
can get a
Jeep.
Wrangler and do it like the actual Power Wheels Barbie Jeep, that would be absolutely
That's what I was
epic.
thinking. Well, I'm looking for a Wrangler now. And I have a 4BT motor I could drop into it.
Sweet Jesus. Common rail or...
I don't know if they're... I don't think so. Are they?
Because I know they had a mechanical one and then an electrical.
No, it's
section.
definitely mechanical. It's
Oh,
old.
boy.
Old school.
Don't tell Justin, he'll try to buy it.
No, I'm not selling it. I held on to this thing for like 10 years. It was out of an old Wonder Bread truck.
See,
Wonder
everybody
Bread.
thinks...
I paid $250 for it. This was before everybody thought, diesels were cool. And now they're like overplayed.
Before
before the mass of...
The Diesel Boys roll some cold, bro.
Yeah, roll some Cobra, before all that. So I've had it for quite a few years, but it's definitely all mechanical. It's not the cool one.
No, the mechanical one's better.
Yeah.
You can fucking actually tune it with just bare basics. You don't need a computer to do anything.
Well, I was gonna call it the Cum Wrangler.
Come Wrangler. That's so gambler. That's so
So
gambler.
gambler. That's what I was thinking. When I'm going down south, I'm not buying a rusty Jeep. I learned my lesson, and it needs to be able to pass inspection. Because you're gonna get slammed the second time.
if it's 95 and older, just bring it to the shop. I'll pass it.
I was looking at like a
They
70s
don't have to
CJ.
sniff
'cause I used to have a
emissions
CJ.
Oh, there you
Like
go.
we're going like old school, and then I'm just
and then it's
gonna
gonna
like
be Barbie pink with white swatches on it.
yeah.
And you're gonna get badges that are like you're gonna cut a Cummins badge and just the first
Cum.
3 letters.
Yeah, Wrangler.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
Oh, that's terrible, but I fucking love
Yeah.
it.
Isn't it great?
That's so
Yeah,
gambler.
like you almost just want to throw up. Like you, like literally, like I was thinking about it, I'm like, oh, that's terrible. But at
first
the
it's
same
like,
time,
that is
it's
gross. And you're like, this is
the
greatest
best thing I've ever heard. Yeah, the Cum Wrangler. So it's gonna happen. That's the goal for this year.
Just
4BT,
1970s Jeep CJ5.
Yeah.
Big pimpin'.
I had a 79 back in the day. That would have been an awesome gambler vehicle. We put a 305 in it.
Looking back at
It was
half
fun.
the vehicles I've owned, they would have been great gamblers.
Yeah.
My first derby car was a turbo Acura Integra. Every piece of suspension was shot on it, so it would have been great out in the trails.
Yeah.
My F-150, the rear end was gone, the transmission was gone, but I still limped it around. That would have been great. I got given a '04 Galant for free because my buddy didn't want to fuck with it. That would have been a great gambler, except it kind of, every time the check engine light came on, it died, so you'd have to clear it and then run it.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I've always
Sounds like
owned shit boxes. Everything I've always done, I drive them into the fucking ground. I don't, like, when I had my Subaru, I was like, oh, that's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. Let's fucking jump it. Yeah, so every time I could get that fucking thing in the air, it was in the air. But I also broke it like 24 fucking times. And then, I mean, even I had a 93 Exploder. That thing, the biggest reason why I junked it is because the brakes blew on the way home. So I was like, well, I'm already halfway home, so I kept going, and I was just slowing it down with the transmission, and to stop it in the parking spot, I just slammed it in the park, and then it just didn't want to drive after that.
I wonder why.
Yeah.
That's basically what happened to the shop truck. None of us know why, but now it doesn't have park. Like, you can put it in the park,
Wonder why.
and it just keeps rolling forward.
That's weird.
So we put the snowplow back on it, we use that for park.
Yeah, drop the snowplow down.
Yep. But
That'll hold it.
What Tyler should do, I saw it at Detroit, and it looked like a good time. They found one of the sets of railroad tracks in town. It was a little hill up to it, and then a little hill down. And the challenge was literally get all four wheels off the ground. That was the name of it. If we could find something like that up in the mountains, like an old railroad crossing that still has a bit of a little jump to it, that would be fantastic.
There's like...
Because I'll sit there with the trailer and be like, all right, $10 if you break your car in half, I'll drag it back.
In Macedon, like if you go down Canandaigua Road, you can catch air
I was
getting
gonna say,
onto
that
the
one is
bridge,
going-
off the bridge, then you can jump the 2 sets of train tracks. I know for a fact.
There's
and
another
then-
one too, Quaker Road.
Yeah,
Where
where
you would
it,
end
like,
up in a house, probably.
No,
so.
well, no. If you go off the one side, you'll end up in the house.
Yeah.
But the other way, like it's literally like
Who
like
built
a
a house here?
70-degree incline.
That is a
And
bad
it's
one.
blinding.
Yeah.
You can't see what's on the other side, but it's.
I jump
it
that
pitches.
all the time in the
you
diesel.
could
Yeah.
get some
I'm
serious.
like, I hope no one's on the other side. Wow.
Like when I mean 4 tires off the ground,
That is
I'm talking
terrible.
feet. I'm
Yeah.
talking feet. You
You're
can
getting
get
like
some
4 feet off the
serious
ground.
air off of these tracks.
Yeah. Canandaigua Road used to be rough because we'd convoy up to the cabin from fucking Canandaigua. Holy fuck. My old car, I could reach out the window and almost touch the ground.
Oh, getting over those tracks. Oof.
Boy, I can't count how many times we had to stop because someone hooked an exhaust on the track and then they'd have to take it at a different angle and get across it. It's just like, you get across one set and you're like, yeah, oh wait, there's another one right here. That one lane bridge was a pain in the ass.
There's a really nice water hole next to those tracks too, off to the side. There's like a little service road for the
Yup.
train department or CSX or whatever they're called, and it floods every time it rains. And it's some fun water holes. I hit, like, if I'm coming home from the cabin, I hit it every single time, or on my way there depending on if I have time. It's so much fun.
Nothing wrong with it in a mud hole.
Nope.
They tell you to park in normal parking at the cabin, or they tell you to go back and park with your gambler?
I haven't
Okay.
I haven't brought my pig there yet. But like even with like I'll drive my work van there a lot too, and I mean it's a piece of shit, and like I'm always like, oh, gamblers, dude, let me park it in the show. They kind of frown upon us coming in. Like even when Nick showed up, they were like trying to point him that way, and I was walking up and I was like, no, dude, he's in the show, and then Nick like
Yeah,
ripped
they
his
let
wheel
all
to
those
the left.
like garbage freaking.
I can't. For me, it's like it's a car show. You don't bring your stock car. I don't care if it's a Mustang or a Corvette or whatever.
Oh, I just
don't
blow
like
past
seeing.
the guy. I'm like, hey, I'm going to park.
I don't like seeing stock cars in the show. I hate that. That's like, it's just boring.
Or you just go to the back and then just drive up.
Unless
I
it's
don't like
like,
driving through everyone anyways, because they all just like sit there and look at you, and you're like, move.
They're all just like, I'm passing. Just
unless it's like an old like restored hot rod or something. Those are okay.
I'll
But
say this: the first time I actually drove my old Civic up there, everybody moved out of the way for me. It was kind of nice.
That's
'Cause I
nice.
had
Nobody
just
moves for
finished
me.
it. I had just repainted it. I went plum crazy purple.
Oh, nice.
I was like, I gotta have something that stands out. And my buddy was like, you like purple? I was like, yeah. He's like, I got some plum crazy. And I was like, okay, we're doing plum crazy. Finished it, drove it to the cabin, didn't realize how bad the head gasket really was. I drove all the way there with an almost empty radiator.
oh god.
Oh,
Topped it off, drove it home. It was perfectly fine.
that's a Honda though.
Yeah, it's a Honda.
Yeah, I know. I took it to I took it to Street Scene that same year, and
Still haven't been
I'm
able to
going to
make
that
it.
one next week.
Gambler
I'm
Takeover.
VIP.
Oh,
Still haven't made it to
I
Street
was
Scene.
gonna say, I
Are
don't
you
think
guys
we have-
going?
I wanted to go to Race Wars
I,
this year.
I
They
want,
had Race Wars in earlier, right? Wasn't it in March or something?
They
a
had
couple
one like
races
last
this year.
week, 2 weeks ago
geez.
too.
They do 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah.
But we were all going
That's
out
such
there.
a fun. That's a cool show too. People are nice there.
We were all going out there, and Danny tried to race a GTR with a Subaru, you know. So he gets pulled over. We all stop for him, and I was sitting there, and I was like, I know for a fact right now there's coolant pooling on top of my cylinders. Fired it back up, running like shit. I was like, this is gonna be fun.
Smells like syrup.
I looked, I had just enough gap to jump out there, and I was like, alright, first gear wide open, 70 horse 1.5. It wasn't going to do anything. Cranking up the throughway, I look behind me, the entire width of the 2 lanes for about 200 yards was just coolant smoke.
Yep.
Everyone was like, who did the nasty burnout when we all took back off? And I was like, that was me burning coolant.
Yep. You should have like, oh yeah, it was me burning my tires out, doing a burnout.
I was like, I kind of felt bad, but then I was like, yeah, whatever. It's not like I did a big smoky burnout. It was just a stream of coolant behind me.
There was like a 2005, 2006 Civic driving on 31 last week. I posted a picture
I
of it.
saw that.
My camera, I don't know what it is. It can see through fog. Like, I tried to take a picture of the actual smoke. Like, I couldn't see the car, but my camera could. So, and like, I mean, the kid like pulled out in front of me, and then my fiance was like, "Oh, his car's smoking." I'm like, "Oh, he's burning some serious oil." And then it like even had our windows up, and then you could just the smell was like pouring into the car.
Gosh.
And then the light goes green, and he just hammers down on it. Like, he was genuinely trying to actually, like, blow that car up. So much damn smoke, though. 31, all 4 lanes were just... yeah, like, it was all 4 lanes of just smoke. I was like, this coming out of a little 4-cylinder Honda. Like, Jesus Christ.
Well, they smoke pretty good if you do,
They
it,
can,
if you do
yeah.
it wrong, I should say.
Yeah.
They smoke pretty damn good. My
I've
old
seen
car
that a
did
couple
that.
times. I'm like, oh, not good.
Because everyone was like, oh, you're burning something. I was like, yeah, I know. I don't feel like changing the head or the gasket.
The diesels will do it too. I like the ones where you'll pull up and you'll just see the injector smoke. I'm like, your truck is and they're just sitting there and it's just pouring out white smoke. I'm like, not good. Of course, I've been there. I did that. That's what I literally did.
That's how you know. That
Yeah,
that's how you know.
I literally launched it. This is when I broke it last time, and there's just like a stream of white smoke comes out. I go, that's not good.
That should be black.
Yeah,
That's not...
why is that white? It's a struggle.
I don't have enough horsepower to break shit on my truck. Factory was 120. Now it's down to like 90.
Yeah.
So I was able to trip the tires once, and I was pissed off at the world. And it was one of the nights we had an ice storm. I think last winter, not this past one, but the one before that. We were going to go bowling, and I was like, "Yeah, I get to take my truck. First time out on the road with it." And then the door stopped. Fucking like the mechanism was just frozen, so it wouldn't stay shut.
Ratchet strap.
So I was pissed at it. Tried slamming it, it wouldn't slam. So I fired it up, went to pull it out of one driveway back into the other end of the barn. Dumped the clutch. That's all I got out of it for like $6,000. I was like, wow, this is really sad. Limped it into the barn, changed the door that night, and then drove it to bowling.
Gambler 100. Scott officially put up the
Registration.
for it. So if you're going to do it, register. Get it done now so we can get this head count in.
I did register us, so we're good. Team Alabama Uber.
Alabama Uber.
Because there's a picture floating around of a dude driving his wife somewhere, and she's in the lawnmower
Yeah.
cart, and that's exactly what I set up for him.
Yeah. Well, that one was labeled as the
Wait,
Wayne.
you guys
Wayne...
actually have a wagon that you're going to tow them
Yeah.
around in?
Yeah, it's in the. We'll show you
Oh, I'm
later.
gonna have to see
It's
that.
right next door. It's
Dang, I should just go get
there's a car seat.
lawnmower.
There's a car seat bolted into the trailer, so I
Wait,
can
where
sit
are
in
you
the car
going?
seat.
Like, so, why don't you explain this 100 thing?
Okay.
So that everybody
So-
else knows, in case they're not.
At the OG, they did
She's
the
you
Gambler...
co-hosting now. We got a new co-host over here.
At the OG, they did a 100 1 or 2 years ago, and it was all Coleman mini bikes. But then everyone was like, wait a second, we can do lawnmowers and other goofy mini bikes. Hence Nick's 1949 mini bike.
Yep.
Wow, I didn't even know they made mini bikes.
We looked up the VIN on the motor. It's from 49 to 53.
That's awesome.
It's rated at like, what was it, like 1.5 or 2 horsepower?
Oh
my
gosh.
lawnmower, like my push mower
So what
has
does it go,
6.
like 5 miles an hour? Does it even stay
said
upright?
he said it's a brisk jog. I was like, that's impressive.
He might have us in for the running
Wow.
of being the slowest vehicle.
It's gotta be
I mean,
snug.
like, how would you even balance on that at that point?
Yeah, there's no speed to
It
get
was
your
designed-
balance.
It was designed for kids. He wrote it when he was like 10, and then he.
Oh, he
parked
still
it.
owns it?
Yep.
That's funny.
I was like, that thing's probably worth quite a bit right now. He's like, oh well, I'm still gonna run it.
Yeah, let's send it.
But they
Oh,
did the
bikes are
100,
weird.
and then a bunch of other people were like, yeah. And then Scott was like, I'm gonna do one out here. So it's gonna be the 23rd and 24th. I think I get the dates right.
Yeah, it's the next, not this weekend, it's the weekend after, so
Yes.
it's the 23rd, 24th.
Oh hey, that's when we're supposed to do the podcast. Maybe we'll just record it down there.
Why not? Do it at the 100.
That'd be dope.
That'd be cool.
But lawnmowers, mini bikes. If you're Tyler, a turbo shopping cart.
What?
With the front end of an ATV.
He took one
From this guy's junk pile.
one of my buddies.
Oh, if you guys ever need shopping carts, let me know. I work for Metallico.
Oh, don't tell me that.
I have all the parts, all the hookups. Scrap metal, if you're selling it, bring it to Metallico.
I've got a whole pile of scrap on the other side of the barn.
Don't bring it in now. Prices are terrible.
I found that out.
Yeah.
Our core guy stopped by the other day and he was like, someone was trying to sell him a cat. He's like, oh, I'll give you like $15. I was
You're
like,
no.
sit on it for a couple months.
Converters are selling for a lot right now. That always bring good money.
Gotta separate your metal too. I brought a bunch to Elpco. I had a whole truck bed. I had a bunch of copper and other stuff. And they were just like, oh yeah, just go dump it in the aluminum. And then
No.
I walked back and they were like, here's your $20. Like, why the fuck did I even bother loading this into
Ours
the
would-
truck?
See, Metallico doesn't even tell it. They'll be like, separate it just there. Just like back up to our back scale and then you just throw it in. We're good like that though. We don't rip people off. I
This
can't
was
say that about
Elpco.
everybody. Yeah.
The last time we brought scrap back, the first trailer load we sent was 12,000 pounds of rotors.
That's good money.
Yeah. It was funny because
That's like $198 gross ton right now.
we have a
Good
customer that hauls our scrap for us because our shop truck is slowly shitting the bed.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got this big ass dump trailer, big old Cummins 2500, and it's like, yeah, this is gonna be great. He shows up with his gas job ram.
Why?
I was like, why are you doing this? He's like, I want to see it that it can haul it. And I was like, you have a Cummins, just hook up to that. He's like, no, I want to use the gas job. Mud flaps that far off the ground.
Yeah, that's not good.
I was
That's
like,
way overweight.
Well, it was at least a 2500 gas
Oh, it
job.
was
but
2,500.
I know someone that bought
still,
a brand
it's
new,
It's an old school 5.9 gas job. It doesn't have that kind of power.
Yeah.
He
Or that
went
kind of
all the way there and
suspension.
back. I was like, yeah, it's a miracle you didn't rip that thing in half.
I know someone that bought a new Dodge to snowplow with it, and they hooked their V-plow onto it, and when they went to lift the plow, the front end of the truck dropped, and the plow was still on the ground.
People don't realize V-plows are fucking heavy.
Yeah, they
really
are.
heavy.
Like, it's ridiculous. I just assume get
I
a
had one
fucking
on,
straight
like-
blade.
I don't like using them. I hate using the V-plows. To me, it's just so much easier to have a straight blade with some wings on it, because like, oh, left, right, you don't have to worry. And then like with the V-plows, you're not plowing those hill driveways because you're never gonna get a good clean cut because the middle of the V-plow won't touch the ground. So
See,
like,
I had
they're
it for
annoying.
like the industrial commercial accounts I used to do. So it's big old 7.3, freaking 1995, freaking massive split blade. It was awesome though. It did lift it up, but yeah, you could not do like normal driveways. No. That was just for the dentist office and stuff, so
Yeah.
you weren't there all night. Back in the day.
I used to do commercials with the 10-foot, just a straight blade though. And the 2500. Yeah, it wasn't. Thing got stuck a lot.
It's like we have one customer. We're way off topic. But we have one customer has a 1500 with a 4.3 and a 5-speed, and that's his plow truck.
Oh.
Don't ask me how, but he plows a lot of commercial lots with it, and I was like, why? He's like, it's what I found. You couldn't have waited a month and bought a fucking even a 1500 with a bigger engine. It does the job.
Actually,
I guess if you're running it and you're just going non-stop when there's
Yeah.
like 3 inches of snow, you'd be fine. But what you'd be screwed with is like when we got like those 2 feet, then what are you gonna do?
well, being that we're gamblers, I will say this. If you're really looking for a good gambler, the best time to buy a gambler is after the snowfalls finish. Because that's where you will find some cheap-ass beat-up trucks that were ran as snowplows. I like this past year, I saw like an old like postal truck for like $600 online with a plow bolted to it. And they were like, needs brakes. Like, That's the best time of year probably to find. Like if you're looking for a truck for gambling, after it snows, hit Craigslist right away.
The best time to get a gambler.
Yeah, somebody almost crashes.
Tax season. Because everyone goes out, buys a new car, and they're like, "Here's my old one. I don't want it.
Yeah, I don't
Sell
want
it
it.
dirt
I
cheap."
couldn't even turn it in. I guess Tyler tried trading in the Trailblazer, and they told him this is the one that looked like a cat, the Meow Mix one. So
Did
he
he
goes
leave
and
all
buys.
the cat stuff on it?
No, well,
Oh.
I think it
The
had on
vinyl,
Meow Mix
probably.
vinyl, yeah. So he's like, $500 I want for my car. They go, you can keep the car, and we'll just give you $500 off the
Yeah,
new
dude.
vehicle. They didn't even want it.
Where was this dealership for all the gamblers that may be looking for a newer
Yeah.
vehicle?
I don't know. I think he still has the Trailblazer.
Maybe he'll run it in the fall.
That was funny. I was making fun of him, and this is my mistake. I was making fun of him, telling him how junky his car was. Guess who's lasted the whole weekend?
The Trailblazer.
Yeah.
It's
I was like, my Jeep is so much better than yours. Yeah, no.
Those 4.2s suck. Like
That thing actually rode really nice though. Like
Oh, yeah.
compared to the XJ, you were like seasick.
I'll say.
And then it would be like you would have the body roll, and then it would between like 45 and 50. It had the worst death wobble known to God. It was like woof, 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 woof.
That thing. I have the heavy steering stabilizer in it, and at 50, when I had the 33s on it, the whole front end would just do this, and I was like, I might need to get smaller tires.
I guess it's like, I was reading up on it. They say it's like the tires that'll be like something's messed up within your tires.
No, they're just too heavy.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, I had
Most
bad
of the time.
I had bad ball joints in my Exploder, and when I hit 60 miles an hour, it was like I couldn't take it on the highway because the thing would just vibrate.
Most of the
violently.
front end of that truck is new. The only thing that's still original is the stabilizer, because when someone put the heavy duty one in, they broke all the bolts and welded it. And I just don't feel like cutting everything apart and trying to find a whole new front end. Even though I've had... Never mind, I think I have a whole front end out in the back.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what about that frame that's sitting
Yeah.
out there? That's probably got enough parts on it.
I had 2 other parts trucks, and I just... fuck it, scrap them. Kicking myself in the ass now. I could have just saved a whole front end.
Well, hey, I'm going down south to go pick up a new Jeep,
Yeah.
so...
And
my new trailer.
If I were to send money with you to pick up a car down there, it'd be a derby car. Not even
Yeah.
gonna lie. Clean Southern cars derby a lot nicer. Although, I don't know. It's a 50-50 shot. If you get something rusty, you know right where it's gonna bend.
Yeah.
If you get something clean,
You don't know.
it could literally bend anywhere.
Yeah. Or the back end could fall off of it.
That
You could
car
probably
was
just go to like Pennsylvania. I'm hoping I can just go to like southern Pennsylvania, Ohio to get something.
Yeah.
I don't really want to go, but I'm going to be going to North Carolina to pick up the trailer, so.
I'll say, I'd figure out the weekend or whenever you're gonna be down there.
I have friends though that are in like Asheville and stuff, so if you guys ever need parts. And Tennessee and South Carolina. The one owns her family owns like a scrapyard.
Oh boy. Don't tell me that.
Yeah.
Because I'll start sending money down south for cars.
I know Alec picked up the diesel Jetta a couple weeks ago, so I know he should be probably swapping that soon into his Jeep.
He's doing like a TDI in
Yes.
a Jeep. Oh, you can do that?
Yeah.
There was a guy up at the Gambler
I should do
at
that.
the spring run. He had a 4Runner, the generation after mine, with a TDI swap.
That's awesome.
And he's like, my friends all brought these raggedy pieces of shit, and they're all gonna last. I've got 15 grand into this swap to get everything done right, and it's probably gonna break first.
Did he break?
I don't know.
Nobody knows.
I hope he made it, because a diesel 4Runner was badass.
15 grand? Oh my god.
Yeah, well, he probably had someone else.
Volkswagen life.
He probably had someone else do the work for him too.
Those Volkswagens though, like if they break, it's like Sealy won't touch them. Diesel shops, like
Nobody
we
wants
don't
to fuck
want
with them.
to, but we will. Like
You gotta find like a Euro specialist, and then
Yeah,
they
you
charge
do.
you out the ass.
Tyler just bought one. They're so nice though. My parents had them before Dieselgate, and like I was hoping that was gonna be my next car. My mom had this like loaded wagon with the panoramic sunroof, and it was so cool. 50 miles a gallon. Like you could drive to Florida for
Those things
$60.
are crazy.
It was so awesome. I mean, that car, it had the worst turbo lag I've ever experienced in my life. Like, you pull out in the traffic, and, like, man, that thing would just sit there and be like, a dud, and then it would, like, screech the tires and go. But you would just be sitting there like, oh, we're gonna die, but give me a second.
Oh, we're gonna die.
I'd have to, like, plan it out. I'm like, okay, is this person gonna hit me in that, like, turbo lag gap, or are we gonna be okay? But the 15 was much better.
So I've noticed.
I'm used to my compounds in my truck, like, just
Why did
lights.
Volkswagen stop making the W8?
I'm not sure.
I loved that power plant.
Well, it could have been their whole big emissions fucking scandal.
Yeah.
Probably.
Because they were like, oh, hey, all these are really clean burning. Meanwhile, they're... Why?
Food's done.
Okay.
Food's done.
Meanwhile, they're to the floor and it's just blowing coal. Nonsense. It's clean.
I think it's better than other stuff. Plants can eat it, right? That's what I say. I go, I'm feeding the plants, so I'm like rolling coal everywhere. I try not to. Like, I don't want to be one of those diesel douchebags, but, you know, sometimes people get in your way or you have to
It gets
accelerate.
all over your truck, too. Floods
Yeah.
out all your exhaust system. It's annoying.
I love seeing the big rigs where the whole side of the trailer is just black.
Yeah.
It's like, you're running a little rich.
What year is your truck?
It's an 08.
So you get that wrench that pops up on your dashboard at all ever in your display?
No.
I drove I think it was like an 07 F550, and then the like whenever the exhaust or something would need or the truck it went in the freaking limp mode all the goddamn time.
Oh, yeah, no.
And then the wrench would flash and be like, cleaning exhaust.
Oh, it's on
exhaust.
regen mode.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no,
what the
I don't
fuck?
have.
Anybody that does-
mine's fully deleted.
Yeah, I was going to say, anybody that does performance with diesel, regen mode comes out first.
Yep.
And then it's...
I don't know
it's
shit
done
about
all that
diesel.
stuff.
CCV, all mine's rerouted.
I don't
so
know
it
shit
like
about diesel.
sprays like oil out the side. Like this oil that's supposed to go. No, it's supposed to go. It would
Oh, yeah.
It would go into your turbos again. So like when I pulled my turbos off and sent them to the turbo guy, he's like, it took him 45 minutes to clean my turbos. He's like, you are the biggest pain in the butt. Like that was awful. He goes, that was disgusting. I'm like, well, there's like almost 200,000 miles on them. And he's like, you better have deleted that. I'm like, oh, it's been rerouted as of like, you know, a month before I pulled these off. But yeah, no, it like, you have like exhaust gas that like comes out, but I'm like, man, it just coated my turbos.
Crankshaft.
Yeah.
Crankshaft. Yeah, I don't know shit about diesels. I don't know anything about them.
I know enough that I can hurt them.
Yeah, I can drive them.
Fix them's always a pain in the ass. That and
Yeah.
the fucking 15 core oil changes suck.
Yeah. I put in this HPL oil. It's like $260 in oil change.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
fuck.
Yeah. But I watched it do a bunch of tests and it outperformed everyone. And I was like, and it's a lot cheaper than the other performance oils that are out there. So it was pretty cool. I'm like, we'll give this a try. But I only change it like every 10,000 miles. So it's like once a year.
Fucking diesels.
Yeah. I have to ship in like a 5-gallon bucket of oil. And it does 1.5 oil changes. I'm like,
So then after 2 oil changes,
Yeah.
you got a full oil change.
And like $260 is him hooking me up. Like, it's not even like, oh, I don't even want to know what the real price would be. It's brutal. Oh well, if it saves my motor from blowing up, that's a lot better, right?
Yeah. I love how we went from the Gambler 100 to fucking $300 oil changes.
Yep.
I mean, it's all car related, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
There's other guys in there probably.
I'm sure there's some people running
yeah.
some very expensive oil in their lawnmowers. Okay, I could see it.
Yeah. Or in the 500.
They do like those tractor pulling with the lawnmowers.
Man, that would be badass if there were guys running like those, like a race mower,
Yeah,
For
those
the-
things are freaking awesome.
catching some air.
That'd be
I've
awesome.
only seen them once,
But,
but I was in like Indiana and they had like the race lawnmowers. I was like, this is insane.
Things I'm expecting from the 100. Fuckery, chaos, possibly some injuries.
So wait, are you guys going on like trails? Like nobody explained that. So like, what
It's
is
a
it?
full-
Like
it's a-
coordinates?
It's a 1 mile track around Captain's
So
property.
it's basically just running. It's basically just running laps. Just basically
and they
running
want
laps.
to set up trail cameras all the way around. And I was like, you realize it's going to start off with a group of sober people, and by the end of the day, it's going to be a bunch of drunk people falling off of lawnmowers and mini bikes.
Which
on
would be
camera.
great.
Yeah, like I made us a badass flag. I have this like giant inflatable swan that I'm gonna use as my airbag. I'm just gonna wear the whole time. Still gotta find a helmet. I don't
Oh,
have a
man.
helmet. I gotta find a helmet.
I need to go. I'm gonna go buy something.
I mean, worst case scenario, I do have another garden trailer that I could hook on behind his.
Yeah, how about we do that? I'll
There
just ride
is
along.
no camping is gonna.
Oh, is there
be-
camping?
Not really. There's like no flat
Scott
land.
was like,
Wait, where
there's
does he
nowhere-
live? Is he the
are
one
you
in...
familiar with the Southern Tier?
Yeah, kind of.
Virgil?
Okay, no.
Over the other side of Cortland, heading
Oh,
down
so like...
towards Binghamton area.
Oh, okay.
So it's a bit of a haul.
Yeah.
At
But if
least
you
I
go for
think
like,
that's
maybe
where
we'll
we
just
were.
go for the day.
Well, it's a
But
Friday,
it's
Saturday thing.
It's gonna be a lot of damn fun, and
He said Friday's basically gonna be like set up your campsite, all that shit. We're gonna go hit Gambler Trails Friday night.
yeah, Friday night's the night run. We're actually gonna run the actual gamblers if
And
anyone
then
brings them.
Saturday's gonna be like
The
mainly-
100?
Yeah.
I'll let you know. If I don't find something, I'll definitely take up the garden trailer thing.
All right, I'll have to put tubes in those tires because I think they're shot. It's actually the trailer that's holding up my chimney.
Oh, okay, great.
Just move that.
So,
just move that seat back and bolt another seat down into that trailer.
I don't think there's enough room in that trailer.
I'm excited. I don't think I have anything going on that weekend, so it should be good.
Nice.
Or I'll just
So-
go buy a little 50. I did find one that was pink and purple, like the diesel, but it
Yeah.
sold like right away.
Oh,
And the guy wanted like $500, and I was like,
Yeah.
eh.
that's a bit steep.
But it was like a newer one. It was like a nice Honda. It wasn't like the cheap ones. But you can like get them, and they ship them here from like China, and they're like $100. But you gotta put it together, literally every bolt. Like it's like IKEA, but dirt bike wise.
The IKEA of dirt bikes.
I was like, man, nobody's gonna want to do this.
Mm.
But you get a sweet little like 50 in the mail.
And then you go get yourself a little Predator engine, like a 212, and you put it in there, and then you're
That-
fucking...
Or that awesome Piranha. I had that 140. And it was on like probably like a 50 frame. It was advertised as a 50 to get there. It's like not a 50.
Mm.
I was like, yes.
Yeah, it's gonna be a.
Should be a good time.
It's gonna be a good time, and it's gonna be a fucking shit show.
Oh, yeah. Basically, take the Gambler and fucking... That's at least somewhat coordinated.
Like I
this
said-
is just going to be everybody show up and start riding.
Yeah,
your
right.
Well, like I
around.
said, I want to make the rule where every lap you chug a beer.
You're trying to kill me.
Well, we're gonna do
You're
like
trying to
one.
kill us. I'm going to be
Yeah,
driving.
We're gonna do
Everyone.
like one lap an hour in your lawnmower, but like you got guys who are
Good
like
point.
Scott, where they're gonna run like 20
How
laps
is
in
the
an hour.
lawnmower? Like, if it's muddy, like, are you able to, like, lawnmower it
Wait
around?
until you see the tires I have
Yeah.
on this thing.
Oh, I'm excited. We're going to have to go look at it.
Yeah, it's gonna be a damn good
I
time.
think I'm just
riding
going to have to
that.
ride with you because that'll be much better than bringing a pit bike. But I'm going to try and buy a pit bike.
Well, I'm going to talk to one of my coworkers because he has a go-kart. I know he doesn't ride it that much anymore, so I'm going to see if I can borrow that and then bring 2 vehicles down.
We should have Mike come too, Sealy.
I tried to get him to go to the first Gambler with me, but he had stuff going on that weekend.
I'm making him go to this next one because I'm like, I need a mechanic.
Dude, he would have a
No
ball
offense,
there.
like I can change my oil and like take a tire off and put it back on, but man, like if it broke apart, like
Yeah.
Tyler would kill me. So definitely need a resident mechanic to ride around with me.
That's like I thought my whole team, everybody looks like a mechanic, and I'm the only mechanic in the group.
Yeah.
I mean, Eric knows enough to get his own shit running again, but
Justin actually became kind of like the guy that everyone was asking.
yeah, I know.
Like he's a mad scientist under the hood of a car for sure.
He knows how to cop
As
jobs
soon
and
as
that
as soon as he
together.
walked over to Talon's car, he was like, "Oh, your starter's clogged in mud. We should get the mud out of the starter." And then they actually had life in it again after that. After they rinsed like 100 buckets of water through the.
Just dumping buckets
That
of
thing
water
made me
down.
laugh so hard. It's like,
Every-
Hyundai, I was like, yes,
Every
mud
single
cricket.
event, that thing either performs spectacularly or falls on its face.
Does he still have it?
Oh yeah, he just got it going again.
Oh.
So
It's
that's
up
gonna be
running
at the
again.
fall.
Yeah.
I laughed so hard at like the picture of the strippers with the mud cricket on it.
Well, if my
Dying.
if my bachelor party actually goes to plan, there will actually be a stripper on the mud cricket for this for this event. So.
Like spring 19, it was a spectacular failure. At Frozen Nuts, he dragged a 7.3 Power Stroke up the side of a mountain. I was
Yeah,
like,
it's just like random. It's just how it works.
Was that Dave's truck, Alex, buddy?
no, it was Alex truck. Because he brought his one-wheel wonder down there.
You can do
Oh.
the frozen nuts and the Finger Lakes, right?
Because base camp was at Kevin's, and then we went all over the southern tier, Ithaca, Cortland, all out around those trails, Connecticut Hill.
That'd be fun.
Oh, yeah.
There's not much trails up this way.
There,
Really?
there
There's
really
nothing
is.
up here.
Yeah, unless you
Even like Naples, like a lot of those roads now too. I did take one with the diesel by mistake. My GPS was all screwed up. I was going to like a friend's house or a friend's camp, but there's like a couple, but there's like 3,
Yeah, there's not
and
many
you can
dirt
do them
roads
in
up
like
this
2
way.
seconds.
Apparently, Justin was saying there's one out by Bristol Mountain that basically goes up the side of that mountain. It's an old dirt road that nobody drives on. So that might be
There's a
one to
couple
look
of
into.
those, yeah. I can tell you, there's a bunch of them over there. There's another one I just went and looked at a house on that was pretty raggedy. When I took the truck up, I was like freaking out. I was like hitting trees. I'm like, God, my paint.
I know there's one road. It's not so much a challenging road. It's just really steep. You ever been up Flint Hill?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My Cora's dad lives up there, and every time I go up it, it's just like I feel like I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
That would challenge a lot of gamblers because it's like this.
It's like that, yeah.
And it's got curves, and the road is the most beat up pile of shit I've ever driven on. Apparently, a couple of years ago, a trash truck lost its brakes going down.
And even going on like up to the jump off
Did
up in
he
Naples.
live?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
scary. Oh my
They
God.
managed to somehow slow it down enough and not completely blow out
Transmission.
across the road. Yeah.
That's scary.
They managed to get it stopped before 245.
They've been fixing a lot of those roads. Like Spook Hill used to be able to roll up back. I was there before they paved Spook Hill.
Spook Hill had a great, like, everyone thought it was awesome.
So Spook Hill, for those of you who don't know, is you would go and park on it. It was like an optical illusion. And the truck or your car would almost roll like backwards uphill. But you
Everybody-
really didn't.
Everybody, like, when you look at it, it looks like your car is rolling uphill, but it was really downhill.
Yeah.
And then the
It was like a dip like that.
The highway superintendent got sick of people fucking around on it, so they regraded the road. So
Yeah.
now it's just
A road.
Yeah.
But
it
you used to
turned
be able to
from
like roll
And actually,
backwards
that road
uphill.
actually went viral
Yeah.
online.
I
everyone,
have
people-
a video of
of
it with
people
my
doing
truck.
it.
Yeah, everybody
everyone
was
was
doing
like, "This is the coolest thing ever." There's fucking
And
ghosts
then
pushing your car up the hill.
Yeah.
Nope, you're rolling downhill.
Yeah, you're just going down.
I never actually got to experience it.
I did in my old Honda Civic EX. Little stick shift.
Seems like everybody has a story in a Honda Civic.
Yeah, I love.
I
my
had
Civics.
one.
I've had 2 Hondas.
I've always had a black Honda Civic.
They're
Looking to
great
get
cars.
another one. Yeah. Well, this one I'm gonna wait till it blows up. This one I'm gonna gamble it. We're
So
gonna
you're-
like lift
So you're
it.
gonna wait for like another
10
100,000
years.
miles.
Well, I don't know. It's getting kind of rusty, but it runs fine. There's nothing wrong with it.
My old Civic, when I got it, when my brother got it, the entire SN was gone. And then we had all of the sheet metal redone. And I regret trading it. I mean, yeah, my Toyota's given me a lot of fun adventures. But I
Yeah, you
regret
probably
trading
wouldn't
that
be
little car.
gambling if you
No,
didn't have
if
it.
I didn't have that Toyota, I would have never... Well, no, I would have known about it because Nick told me about it at work one day. It was like right before opening day of deer season. And Nick's fucking putting rally armor under his car and shit. And I was like, what are you doing? He was like, oh, I'm getting ready for the Gambler 500. And I was like,
That sounds awesome.
I was like, what is this Gambler you speak of? And he showed me one video and I was like, I'm going to the next one.
Yep, I'm hooked.
Surely enough, I did.
I wanted to do it for years, and then Tyler went and did it with his buddy's first bachelor party, not bachelorette. But I was like, oh man, I want to do it like next year, like for sure. But I've always wanted to do like the rallies. I've seen like the hot rod ones, and I'm like, that seems kind of like boring.
The gumball rallies. and
Yeah,
stuff,
the gumball. Like I watched the who was it? Jackass did
Yep.
it
They did one...
with like a
I
In
wanna say
Europe.
They did one in Europe, yeah.
yeah.
Because when they
I
got
was
to
like, that would be
Latvia,
awesome.
people were getting their cars jammed.
Yeah, and they were in this junky Jaguar that no one's gonna steal.
Well, they have
that.
one. They have one here that's from New York to Vegas.
Yup, because the first year I went to do the Gambler last year, a couple of my buddies were like, hey, we're going to do this. Do you want in? And I was like, I'm going to be doing the same concept in the Adirondacks
Just
with
more
a vehicle
badass.
falling apart.
Yeah, just more
And they were like,
badass.
oh. And then they didn't end
It's
up
all
doing
like street riding. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like the
that,
ga-
and I don't want
the
to
best
go to New York
comparison for
City.
the two is like the gumball is like Sylvester Stallone and Rocky. We are like Sylvester Stallone and Rambo. Like
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
best comparison for those for the difference between the two. You get the one you're like, oh, you might get beat up a little bit. You're a fighter. Good for you. You did it long distance.
The
Or
other
it's
one,
us.
you're
It's
getting
like,
shit
yeah,
Yeah.
we're
You're
basically
literally
getting shot
blowing
at.
up, yeah. You might get hit by a stray tire. You're standing on the side videotaping.
Or in their instance, the one time, possibly some stray bullets. So
Why was it hunting season?
Nope. Spring of 18.
wrong
The
property.
GPS took us to the wrong property and tried to send us up a road into a live gun range.
Oh no.
We missed the turn, and I want to say it was Jason and someone else ended up going up, booking up the trail, and the guy that runs the gun club went sprinting up the trail after them, and I was like, something tells me this ain't right. And then they came back down, they're like, yeah, this is a live gun range. We're like, okay, next coordinates, let's get out of here.
Fuck out.
I'm surprised they didn't have like signs up.
Yeah.
They should have.
They did, they had signs that said live range, and they were just like, hey, it's the Gambler, we're gonna go for it.
It's all fun
Not
and games
quite.
until you get shot.
Yeah, pretty much. I wanted to get shot doing a gambler, I'd go to Detroit. That looks like a fun gambler, though.
Is it like in the city?
The hell is
Yeah.
that noise?
It's like an urban takeover.
Yeah, it's like Urban Takeover, but they also have some trails. I have no idea what that was, but we... Oh, wow. We've been filming for an hour and a half already.
Yeah, we only ended up, like, we felt like we were filming for like 2 hours, and then we only had an hour of footage with the leeches.
Yeah, I know.
That was most of it, too, was just sitting here listening to him talk about New Zealand.
And Canada.
Yeah, and Canada.
You mean Iceland?
Or, yeah, Iceland.
I was gonna say New Zealand. You went there too.
Yeah.
Nope. Yeah, Iceland. Yeah, that'd be a good one to go to. Doesn't Australia have a gambler too now? Aren't they doing it now? I think they
I
are.
have no idea.
I feel like they gamble all the time.
Yeah.
There's snakes and kangaroos and stuff.
Although I think it'd be cool because they have fucking Holden Utes, and I really want one.
Yeah.
Just because it's basically a truck on like a Camaro or
Yeah.
a Corvette chassis.
For me, it's if I was going on there, it'd be the Ford Falcon Ute.
Oh, fucking.
They have diesel Wranglers. One of my good friends from there, and he has a diesel Wrangler.
That's awesome.
And you can also
Yeah.
get a Helix down there too.
You can get anything in
I
Australia.
think I'm pretty
they
sure
have
they.
fun.
I'm pretty sure they got
They
the
like to party.
6x6 too. That'd be badass.
Yeah, but
the
they're like
6x6.
roads. That would be a crazy gambler. That'd be fun. That'd be expensive though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be pricey as all fucking hell.
Freaking $3,000 just to fly there, plus buying a car and driving around and expensive.
So, awkward silence.
Yeah. I mean, hour and a half. I feel like we covered most of the bases.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you for being three of us, that was like the second longest show that we've probably
We've
filmed.
had 2.5-hour podcasts.
Oh, third longest then. For just three people too, compared to the
Yeah.
the 5 that were here for the other ones. That's a good show.
Yeah.
Really good show. Thank you for
That was
being
fun.
the female perspective
Yeah.
and showing up.
I would
and-
like to see more girls do it. Or if you want to run in a team, let me know. I would definitely, like I said, I want to do the Barbie Jeep. It'd be a good time.
Should be a good time.
and you can tell too. It's girly right here. This
Yeah.
isn't like some chick walking in wearing ripped
Yeah.
up blue jeans and a trucker hat, folks. Yeah. Girls do the gambler too.
Yeah. There's no shame in wanting to just show up and do it. It's a good time.
Yeah. Lots of fun.
Yeah.
And
Well, thank you
assholery.
for having me. That was great.
Yeah, I was going to say anytime you want. But I pretty much tell that to any guest because...
It's hard to find them to come on the
Yeah.
show because the only people that really are on the show are people that live in the area.
This guy.
Yeah. I'm basically the co-host now.
Yeah, we established that like beginning of season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're my permanent co-host.
Yep, I'm here. I'm the other asshole on the show. Good times.
Yeah.
So, on that note, I gotta pee. Thanks for listening and watching.
Next time we will film not here. We will be at the Gambler
At the
100.
100.
Oh my god.
The
I'm
Gambler
pumped for this.
100.
It's going to be a good time.
I'm just gonna ride around in a trailer.
Yeah, pretty much.
That show's just gonna be nothing but booze tongue and a bunch of slurs, but we're gonna get...
I'm gonna laugh.
Yeah, it's gonna be terrible.